Hey guys, what's going on? It's RC Knockout and I am back with another video. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, my name is Nolan, and in today's video, I am going to be working on the 100mph Traxxas Slash project. Now, if you've been following this build, and the progression of this build, I gave a little hint of what I might be doing in today's video at the end of the last episode. So, we ran it on 4S in the last episode, and we reached 66 miles per hour with the 34-tooth pinion. And at the end of that video, I was deciding, do I stay 4S and gear it up higher? Because the system was running super cool. So that tells me the system was not working very hard. Or the other option was, do I just jump it up to 6S? And in this video, guys, I decided I think it's time to go 6S. So that's what we're doing in today's video, guys. I am going to be installing a 6S ESC in this thing. And then in a future video, what you guys are going to see is you're going to see some top speed passes with it running 6S. So I'm super excited, guys. So let's go ahead and jump right in this video. Alright guys, so now your first question might be, well, what ESC are you putting in? I was looking online, I was looking at a bunch of different options, but in the end, I decided on this right here. This is the ESC I'm putting in right here, guys. Now this right here, basically what it is, guys, is it is a 6S capable ESC. This is a smart ESC by Spectrum. And this is the ESC that would come in like an Arma Typhon, the Arma Outcast. It would come in basically all the 6S machines from Arma. This is the ESC that would come in it. This is a Firma 150 amp smart brushless ESC. So let's see, hopefully you guys can read that. I'll get that as close to the camera as I can. So it's a 150 amp ESC. You guys might be wondering, well, why this ESC? Because there's tons of different options out there. Well, number one, I got it for a pretty decent price. I think I got it for under $100. You might be wondering, okay, well, what kind of connectors are those? Well, these connectors, I think they're called, okay, it says right on them. These are called IC5 connectors. So they are compatible with the EC5s, which EC5s are, they look very similar to this, but they're blue. So it's basically the old design of these. But if you've been watching the channel for a while, you might be thinking, Nolan, you don't have any batteries that have EC5 or IC5. Well, that's not actually the case anymore because I bought this battery pack right here, guys. So this right here is a 6S pack. It is a 5,000 milliamp, 22.2 volt, 6-cell LiPo. And it has got the IC5 connector. And this is what I was waiting on. And actually, I bought this battery right here kind of as a dual purpose battery. If you guys have been watching the channel and you know some of the other things I have going on and other RCs I have, I just got an Arma Infraction recently. I was going to get two 3S packs and run them in my Arma Infraction. Now, in the end, I got thinking, okay, once I saw this ESC online, I got thinking, okay, well maybe instead of going with two 3S packs, I can get this ESC right here, put it in the 100mph Slash, and then also get a hold of a 6S pack. Because the reason I just go with one single pack is because that's about all we'd be able to fit in the Slash. With the battery strap, we're not going to be able to fit two battery packs in there. The good benefit of this ESC is it comes with a jumper. So this jumper right here, if I can get it out, this jumper basically just completes the circuit so that you can just run. Now let's get it back in. We'll go back in. Basically, a jumper basically just completes the circuit so that you can have the option to just run one battery, which is what we'd be running, guys, since I only have one single 6S pack. That's what we'd be running. So I'm glad this came with a jumper, so that was another benefit of getting this ESC. So that's why I ended up buying this. So I wasn't going to go 6S for my Arma Infraction, but in the end, this made the most sense. And this was not a cheap battery, though. This cost about 160 bucks for one battery. But the benefit of these IC5 connectors is that using one of these smart ESCs, you can actually download an app and get telemetry. Tells you your temperature, voltage, all of that stuff. Shows you the voltage of the battery. I think that's actually pretty cool. So that's the main benefit of having this kind of battery. But you could just do just as fine with just a regular 6S pack with IC5 plug. I probably could have gotten one of those for half the price. But anyway, guys, this is what I'm going to be running with. And this smart ESC right here, that's what we're going to be installing today. So let's go ahead and jump right in this installation. Comparing the ESC that we're going to be putting in compared to the SC8 Red Cat ESC that we're taking out, here's the connector difference in size. So here, right here, this is the EC or the IC5 connector. And here's the tiny little Dean's connector that we currently have. And I think you guys can tell there's a lot more surface on that gold-plated surface in there on those bullet connectors that are going to be able to take more power through them. And then on top of that, look at the gauge of the wire. This wire right here appears to only be a 10 gauge, maybe 12. And this right here, okay, this is probably a 12 gauge right here. This wire right here on this ESC appears to be a 12 gauge. And this right here, it says right on it, this right here is a, where does it say it? Right there. This is a 10 gauge wire. So significantly thicker wire as well, guys. So that's a big difference. That's why I think it was a must that we do upgrade the ESC. We got 66 miles per hour on 4S. I can't even imagine how much faster it's going to jump it up just going to 6S. So that's 2 more cells of LiPo, guys. So I'm really looking forward to, you know, making this change and seeing, you know, what type of top speeds we get after this. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take out the current ESC that we have in here. Well, the first thing I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to grab a 2mm right here, and I'm going to go ahead and open up my receiver box. So right here, and then here and here as well. So let's go ahead, let's get the receiver box open because we will have to unplug the ESC from the receiver. And there we go, got one. Alright, guys, and this comes off like such. Set that aside. Now we can get the actual cover off. Got one out. And we got 2 out, guys. And there you can see how much of a mess that is. Just a mess of wiring that I had bunched up under there. Suppose we can get the ESC unplugged, but the ESC is going to be, I believe, in it's going to be in slot number 2, so channel number 2. So I'm going to go ahead and unplug that now. We're just going to go ahead and feed this back out and just get this out of the way. And I guess I'm just going to attempt to try to pry this thing off because it's probably not going to come off smoothly. It's probably going to be it's probably going to leave some adhesive behind, but we're just going to go ahead and get up underneath it here and pry it upwards. This double-sided tape holds well, though. Oh, jeez. Oh, there we go. It did come off. Actually, it didn't come off too bad, actually. It only left a little bit behind right here, guys. So really not too bad. Now let's see. I do have to cut all this bundle of wire right here, so let me get my little cutters. Here they are right here. So we're going to go ahead, get this zip tie cut that is holding the wires for the motor and ESC. Then we're going to go ahead, get the ESC unplugged. And the good thing about this ESC that's going in, guys, this ESC also has 4mm plugs. So the exact same plugs that are on this ESC right here, this has as well. So kind of weird they only has 4mm plugs for the bullet connectors, I should say. Because I would think maybe that could be a limiting factor for current, having issues with current going through. But we do still have these 6.5 down to 4mm male bullet connector adapters, so it'll just plug and play once again. So no issue there. Let's see. I think I'm actually going to. I might just go ahead and undo this too, because I don't think this is doing anything. This little temperature sensor that I have for telemetry, I think I'm just going to take that out because that just adds more wire that's then, in the receiver box, and it's just causing more issues than it's worth because I don't think it even works. So this was just a bundle of wires because it has all this stuff right here with this little thing right here, and then 2 little plugs and then another plug here. It just adds a bunch of extra stuff that I don't really need underneath the receiver box, which it's just hard to get this bundled under there. So we're gonna set that aside. Now what we're gonna want to do, guys, we're gonna want to clean this off because this is going to be going, this ESC that we're putting in, it's gonna plop kind of something like that, I think. Yeah, because the wire's on this side, so I think we're gonna probably do it like that. Unless we did it something like that. We do have the length where we could do it like that, or we could probably do it. I just kind of want to mock it up and just see what's going to work best. Because if we got these wires coming around here like such, and then plug these in, like that. So that's not going to work very well because then the wires are going to be too short. So let's see if we turn this way. Now is there going to be enough length? Because I do need to keep in mind length of wire. So ooh. Okay, we're gonna have to do something different with the wiring, guys, because as you guys can see, with the wires from the motor wrapped up around the back of the shock tower, which is how I had it with the last ESC, the leads for the last ESC right here are way longer. There's just way more wire there. So this is not gonna work because we don't have enough length to then reach down here and properly mount it up. So we're going to have to take these motor wires and find another way to hook them up, whether it be, I mean, we might not really be able to wrap it around anything. We might just have to zip tie it up neatly. Let's just plug it like this for now and just kind of get it how it's gonna look. We'll figure out how to zip tie and make it look a little bit cleaner once we get everything set up. Because I could just zip tie it like this, guys. I could just zip tie right here around the shock tower like that, and then we should have enough length, and that'd be nice and kind of tidy and out of the way. So that might be what I'll do, guys. I think I'm gonna go ahead, get it mounted up something like that. Let me make sure these wires aren't gonna be in the way of anything, because this jumper is gonna be kind of dangling around. So I don't really want it coming in contact with the drive shaft. And also, another thing I should check real quick, guys, while I'm right over here. Whoops. I should check to make sure that 6S pack's gonna fit. So here's the 6S pack that my plan is to run. And, ooh. We might have an issue, guys. This might be too big of a pack. Bummer. Bummer, bummer, bummer if that's the case. Not only does it look like it's not gonna fit that way, like right up against the motor number 1. Now, I did not make a plan. I didn't make any plan for if this happens, though, because I was hoping that the 6S pack would work. Didn't take into consideration that the pack itself might not fit. And as you guys can see, the issue we're having is clearance because the pack itself is too wide to fit down there, and we can't put it the other way because obviously the strap's not going to fit over it, and it's up against the motor. I should have kind of test fitted this before I ever brought this onto video, so I'm kind of finding it out as you guys are. I mean, we might have to do something where it's off to the side, like literally like mounted up somehow on this, which is going to look pretty pathetic, but maybe zip tied onto that, because we need it somehow where it's out of the way. We don't want it touching the heat of the motor, not to mention this $160 battery, nor do we want it getting in contact with the drive shaft. So even if we took this little foam bit out right here, there's a little foam bit right there, it's still too wide. It's just too wide of a battery. So we might either have to get another battery, but I don't think I'm gonna, if I did have to get another battery, I'm not gonna invest in another one of these with the IC5 because that costs too much money for this plug. I'd go find a cheaper 6S option that has the EC5, because the EC5 is compatible with these IC5 connectors, so that's a good thing, and I'm sure I could find one of those for way cheaper than $160, but I guess I never took into account this wouldn't be low profile enough to fit. But I do think we could make it work if I, like I said, if I got it like zip tied around here somehow. But then it's going to be sitting way off to the side, which isn't ideal for weight distribution, that it's going to be way off to the side. But it might help prevent this RC from flying up. You know, with more weight off to the side like this, that might help keep it more planted. I don't know. Interesting. So anyway, guys, I got to figure that out now. But back to the ESC install. First thing I'm going to do, guys, is clean this off with some rubbing alcohol and just get that surface prepped and cleaned so that when I put the double-sided tape on this ESC, it'll actually adhere properly. Got some isopropyl alcohol right there, and just get some paper towels, and I'm just going to go ahead and pour a dab of the alcohol on here and just start cleaning this off. Got to get all this crap off. That looks pretty good, guys. Surfaced pretty well prepped. I'm going to use a bit more alcohol and actually clean off the bottom of the ESC, since we're also going to be putting the double-sided tape onto the ESC. So dab more alcohol and clean off the bottom of that ESC to get any oils and grease off of there. Alright, and let me get the double-sided tape. Alrighty guys, I'm just using this 3M double-sided foam tape. It's pretty thick stuff. So I need to get a piece cut. Yeah, that should be enough. I think that's good. So now is the time to double-sided tape this up. And we're going to go ahead and get the bullet connectors connected. So let's go ahead and get the double-sided foam tape onto the ESC. Alright guys, the ESC should be, the alcohol should have dried. Gonna put a little bit right there, and then the other piece that I have cut, we're gonna put just like that, and as you guys can see, I got it cut almost perfectly. And then we're gonna go ahead and pull the paper off of the double-sided foam tape, and we gotta get this right the first time, guys, because it's only gonna go on once. So I'm gonna put it kind of towards the edge. I wanna make sure this is the side that the wire's on, so we're gonna have plenty of length of the wire to go to the ESC. So it should work fine anywhere along here. All right, and that's the spot it's gonna stay, just like that, because I have it pressed down, guys. Gonna give it a little bit of compression, and as you guys can see, it's on there nicely. All right, guys, so now that I have it pretty well wired up, I think now the best thing to do is to go ahead and start it up and make sure everything works. I am going to go ahead and elevate the RC just using some tires, just in case this thing goes berserk, which it shouldn't, but you never know. Let's go ahead and get the 6S pack hooked up. Got the transmitter turned on. Go ahead, let's turn the RC on. Okay, it beeped 6 times for 6 cells. Let's go ahead and make sure I got these wires in the correct orientation. Alright guys, I don't think I went past a quarter throttle there. So, this thing's gonna be nuts. Also need to cut a little bit of double-sided foam tape to then attach the on-off switch, which I need to find a spot to mount that. I usually mount it off the side of the ESC, but I'll probably do that off camera real quick and I'll be right back with you guys. Alright guys, I am back. I got everything else tidied up off camera, so got the receiver box screwed back down, got all the wires tucked in there nicely. Also, I got the motor and ESC wires routed out of the way, so there's no chance these are going to come in contact with the pinion gear or the drive shaft. Just put a little zip tie right here. Let me know in the comments, what do you think this is going to do top speed wise? Keep in mind we did 66 miles per hour with this exact same gearing, so that's 2 more cells of lipo. I'm super excited to see. Now guys, I don't know if the next video is going to be a running video, because another thing that we need to do is I need to start cutting up the body. I'm going to make that into its own video. I might do that next. I might experiment with the other body. Where'd I lay it? I don't know where I laid the other body, but I have 2 different bodies I kind of have selected. Not sure which one I'm going to use. I might use the stock body because the stock body's starting to get pretty beat up, so it doesn't really matter if I start cutting into it because it's already so beat up already. But I do have that low-C body that I might try as well. So that'll probably be its own video, guys, where I'm just going to start experimenting and cutting and start making little cuts in the body to try to make it more aerodynamic. So if you guys like the video, please hit that thumbs up button. Really helps out the video, also helps out the channel. The algorithm is much more likely to pick this video up and show it to more people, because that's why I make these videos. I make them so people will hopefully see them and hopefully enjoy them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in another video. Later.